What's up, guys? So we're going to talk today about the one facet of leg locking that's going to improve your leg lock finish percentage across the board. So what we're going to talk about is making sure that we have a strong initial connection to our partner. All of the finishes, all of the different grips, all of the different entries, those things are nice and they will help you in certain scenarios and in certain leg locking positions. But the one thing across the board that is always of the utmost importance is to make sure that you have a strong initial connection. During a leg lock, there's going to be a lot of movement on your partner's part. They might use their secondary leg to push on you. They might try to roll this way. All these different things can happen that are going to cause distance between my partner and I, specifically our hips. So if our hips are close together, you can see that his knee is deep within my knee line. The further our hips drift apart, the more likely that his knee is going to come out of my knee line. So when we first get into an Ashi Garami, and we're using a standard straight Ashi Garami here, or single leg X as some refer to it, when we get into this position, we're going to make sure that we pull our hips as tight as we can and as close to our partner's hips as we can. And when we do this, we're going to have a wrapping hook over the hip, putting weight down on our partner, and then we're going to cover it with our secondary leg on the knee. So when I cover it, what this is doing is making sure that it's difficult for Juice, my partner's name is Juice, to take the foot off the hip. So he's gonna take the foot off the hip and he can go out and sit on it. This is a way that people will begin to dismantle your Ashi Garami and start to come out and escape. So we wanna have a strong wrapping hook where we're pulling, and then we have a pushing wedge with our other knee, where we're covering our heel and making it more difficult for him to get a good bite on the foot and take it off. Secondarily, when I'm putting my knee down onto his foot, onto my own foot, it's allowing my other part of my leg to flare up. So I'm using sticky feet and I'm putting them in the back of his hamstring, if you guys can see this. So when I put this in the back of his hamstring, it's for two reasons. One is that it makes it more difficult for Juice to come up and stack me when I'm looking for heels. So if I'm digging for heels and I don't have an Achilles lock, I am in immediate danger of getting stacked and having my back taken if Juice were to come up and put his weight on top of me. So if I have an Achilles lock, I could be okay, but if I'm looking for heel hooks, Juice has the ability to slip his foot and bring it down, and now I'm starting to lose everything, and he might take my back. So what I see a lot of times is guys will put their foot on the same main leg as the one they're attacking. This is inefficient because it's not acting as a shield between Juice and I. So when I have my foot here, Juice can come straight up, he can put weight on me, and he can start to possibly take my back. This is gonna not allow me to have any room for breaking pressure. It's gonna screw all the mechanics of my break up. So what I wanna be doing is putting this foot here, like we talked about, putting it down, flaring it so that my foot is flared into his hamstring. And so now when he tries to come forward, it's acting as a shield. It's keeping distance, making it very difficult for him to come up. In order for him to come up, he has to do a lot more work to dismantle the Ashi Garami. So the secondary reason that we want to have our foot flared into his hamstring is that once we get the heels, if he's able to start turning, he's going to alleviate pressure by moving this way. And when he moves this way, if he moves faster than me, if I lag behind him in speed in terms of the roll, then he'll start to separate and his knee will come out of my knee line. So the way that we do this is we're not really able to make ourselves faster. We're holding onto a heel. We're at an inherent disadvantage, so we need to slow him down. So as he goes and turns, I'm slowing him down by flexing into this leg. He needs to bring this leg over, and as he does, I'm slowing it down so that I can maintain speed with him. Take my leg out and finish here. Okay? So we come back. When we enter into the Ashi Garami, utmost importance is that we maintain a high hip connection with our partner. It's going to put weight on his body. It's going to make it harder for him to move. And if he does move, even though we have this foot flaring into the hamstring, there's still space that will develop. So if I start in a weak position where I'm here and I haven't really taken the extra moment to bring my hips close to my partner's, if he starts rolling, I can start to lose this. And now his knee is out of my knee line. I'm never going to finish him here. I'm going to have to reconsolidate the position. So come back. So it is very, very important that when we get into a leg lock, however we do it, we want to start using however we can do it to get close to the hips. One of the best ways we can do this is to go underneath their leg and pull ourselves in tight. So once I'm in tight like this, I should be tight enough that Juice could even walk backwards and I have no hands and he'll just drag me with him. Right? You can keep going backwards. I'm still gonna stay connected. This is a good tight Ashi Garami. Now we can start to look for finishes. If I'm here and he goes and drags back, he can start to come out. Go ahead and give it a try and let me know what you think.